Good morning. It has been a while since I've been talking to you guys. If you've been following this vlog religiously real time, then you will know that after I sailed from Dominica to Grenada, I went MIA for a couple days. So let me explain. Basically, I went 3 days without sleeping because I'm solo sailing, and I did a straight shot all the way from Dominica to Grenada, and it took a toll on me. So I passed out for about 2 days after doing my check-in and my immigration and whatnot. And then I spent a couple days trying to get my life in order. So I've mentioned it before. This is the last time I'll mention it, but I lost 30 pounds accidentally trying to sail the Caribbean. And so I haven't been taking care of my physical health. And so I have meal prepped. I've gotten all the protein powders. I got a gym membership. I've been working out. It's been a really good couple days for physical health, mental health, and I'm feeling really good, guys. Here, let me show you my fridge. Boat is looking clean, by the way. Getting my life in order. I've eaten half of what I've already cooked, but this is tiki masala chicken and rice. I made a bunch of beef burritos. This is beef pasta with some mozzarella and spinach. These are overnight oats up here, protein shakes, all the good stuff, man. So your boy's gonna get yoked again. But look, that's not what this video is about. This video is about the to-do list. We are here in Grenada for a few months to prepare for our next season. So the next season is going to be Central America, crossing the Panama Canal, doing the west coast of the US, all these things. So we have to get ready for that. And Grenada is a really good spot to get a lot of work done and kind of have the safety away from the storms during Caribbean hurricane season. So we are currently in St. George's. Right over there is Fort Louise Marina, where we did our immigration check-in, customs, all that stuff. And we've been sitting here on anchor just outside the mooring field since we got here. But today, right now, we are ready. We are about to fire up, and we are going to move south to Prickley Bay. I got a bunch of friends and acquaintances over there, other YouTube sailors. It seems like everyone goes over to Prickley Bay. I don't know if it's the protection or if it's just because Spice Island Marine, the boatyard there is really good, or I know that there's a budget marine ship part store over there. So long story short, we're moving today. I feel like we're going to a place that is a really good spot for us to hold out for a few months, get a lot of stuff done on the boat, and then we're going to show you around a little bit. Damn, man. God, that sucks. The windlass motor's not working again. It's doing the exact same thing it was doing. Clicking, not engaging, and turning. We just had it rebuilt in Dominica, for those of you who don't know. It was a whole issue with the windlass. And I finally thought I was through it. But here we are with part 2, I guess. That sucks. So now I gotta figure out if I'm going to a mooring ball or if I'm gonna drop the anchor by hand and figure out some things. God, I feel like so many videos I'm starting lately, it's like starts with like, as soon as I start doing anything, there's a problem I encounter. Such is life. That's a real bummer to start the day. because as you guys are gonna see soon, we have no shortage of work to do, but I guess we'll just add it to the list. It's a bit windy, so I'm gonna get to Prickley Bay and see about tying up or dropping the hook, and we'll sit and we'll have a chat. It never ends, guys, it never ends.
Here comes that Sunday vibe again. Pouring down like summer rain. When the windows get all steamy and wet, all cozy and snuggly is the way I get. I find myself wishing you were here. In my Sunday atmosphere. 'Cause I'm feeling a slight bit high. So won't you come on over, baby, and get into my little Sunday barbecue. We're gonna get on, baby.
It is so crowded here. And being solo, I don't really want to go farther in, but that means that I'm on the outside of the bay in the swell with rocks right behind me. Solo is a different monster. And here I am anchored in a precarious position, 40 feet of depth, with no windlass. Yet again. Tide was crazy getting here too. My autopilot was doing crazy stuff. Guys, look how crowded it is here. I'm on the outskirts right here. As you go in, just boats everywhere. Over there's Spice Island Marine. I mean, there's got to be over 100 boats just anchored, with way more in the marina. Crazy. That means I get to make some friends. Yay! Stay. Stay. God, I hope that boat's okay when I come back. Been sitting for about an hour and a half, so we should be fine, but we'll see. That's my friend's boat. Shout out to the Adventure Cruise. I was roommates with them in Annapolis Boat Show, and their catamarans over there. They're not here right now, but they'll be back soon. Also, if you guys are fans of Below Deck, Barnaby from Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 3, he just bought an Amel, a monohull sailboat, which is badass, and it's here too. I don't know if he's here or not though. So we've been internet friends, and I'm hoping to be in-person friends with him soon before we both leave Grenada, so very excited, very excited. Friends are here. Ah. So the dinghy dock is right there. Literally, I can see my boat all the way in and out. And look at this. It's not West Marine. You guys know I love West Marine. But we have a boat store, and it says pets are welcome. There's Spice Island Marine right there. And the travel lift looks like the easiest travel lift I've ever seen to get into. So the perfect place for me to get a lot of stuff done over the next couple months. Life is good. We got a short walk, like a half mile to the gym. So it's also the perfect place for me to get jacked again. I'm getting excited. I hope I see Barnaby's boat while I'm walking past here. I don't know what the name of it is. I just know it's an Amel. That might be it right there, literally. Super Marmu. I know he has a Super Marmu. I'll have to look at the pictures. Barnaby, if you're watching, is that your boat? Trade wind. God, dude, I'm so excited. This is gonna be a good season. Just hanging out here, getting stuff done. I'm excited. This is perfect. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We also have a lot of special guests coming in. We got old friends coming in, new friends coming in. All good things, guys. All good things. Okay, so the to-do list. I kind of just want to set the tone for the next couple months. We have had the boat in the water for just under a year now and have sailed the whole Caribbean. A lot of things have broken in that time. A lot of stuff on this list is just deferred maintenance, things that I didn't have the supplies to maintain or I didn't have the time. And a lot of things on this list, after spending time on the boat, I see how they could work better for the next season. So improvements to be made. This is the list. I'm gonna run through it as quick as I can. It's a little bit long, so bear with me. We need to tune the rigging. It's never been done. We need to upgrade the tender situation. So the tender is just slamming around on the lift a little bit. The Dyneema lines don't bring it up even to snug to the top when we lift the tender. So I need to adjust the Dyneema line so it brings up perfectly. I want to add some padding to the bottom of the aluminum rig where the tender makes contact. I also want to see about putting a mount on the stainless steel push pit so that I can mount the outboard on the boat and get a little bit less weight on the rig itself. I also don't know if you guys know, but there's actually a crack in the aluminum rig that happened back in Bahamas. And so I'm gonna see about welding that and maybe even strengthening the rig a little bit if I can find the money. I also need to do a full maintenance job on my water maker. I need to change the filters. I need to clean out my tanks. I need to fill everything up, drain it all. I need to change the oil on the high pressure pump. I need to do a lot with the water maker, and I want to stock up on supplies so that I can get into regular maintenance with the water maker. I would really like to redo the paint on the bottom before another season, but again, we'll see if we can come up with the money for that one. The master cabin is not finished. You saw that we cut out the wall and made this beautiful master cabin, but we don't have the bathroom set up yet. I need to install a shower head. I need to install a shower sump pump to pump up the gray water, and I don't have a working toilet up there. And when we go through the Panama Canal, I'd like to have a boat full of guests and full of help. So it would be nice to have our own bathroom. We're not walking through someone else's room to go potty. On the topic of toilets, both of my electric heads are not working. You guys knew that one was broken. The second one is also broken. It's been broken for a few days. So I'm currently going to the bathroom in my backup composting toilet sitting in the middle of the main salon floor. That might be TMI, but that's the state of things right now. So toilets are high on the list of to do. I'd like to finish the aft cabin. So you know that I gel coated the ceiling on one and it's looking pretty good. I'm 90% of the way through on the other cabin. I'd like to finish that one sometime the next week. This is a fun one. I need to do the Patreon photos, catch up on some cosmetic stuff by putting all that wall up, and I need to get some film, all those fun things. I need to figure out a way to upgrade the electrical system to run my Mantis Marine dive compressor. When I run it off of the generator, it trips the generator, and it also trips my fuse for the outlet in the bow locker. So I either need a bigger fuse for my outlets, or I need a bigger generator. I'm not sure, but it's just got too much of an initial power draw to actually run the dive compressor. So I just need to upgrade the electrical to support that. I have on here to inspect the steering compartment thoroughly. I want to really go over the steering cables, the steering column. I feel like that's a weak point for us, and I just have a bad feeling that something's going to go wrong. So I want to go into the steering compartment and just really check over everything and share that with you guys to see if you guys can see any soft spots. But our reef lines have only worked for a total of 1 day the entire time we've had the boat. So we installed the reef lines with the help of our friend Brian in the Dominican Republic, but the lines that we purchased back in Florida were too short, and the way that we ran the single line system didn't work. Both of them ripped out of their block and tackle like the first time we had over 25 knots of wind, which is when you use the reef lines. So we have no way of reefing our sails, which is pretty dangerous. So reef lines need to be done. Battens are not in our sail. We need to get the battens back in the sail. We need to make some patches on the mainsail. We also are having trouble raising the mainsail. There's too much friction. So the track that raises the mainsail, there's sliders on it, and those need to be replaced, and we need to figure out some sort of new track for it because it's getting bunched up, and the mainsail's not getting enough use because it's in disarray. The engine, we need to do full fluid change. I want to replace all the filters. The valve cover gasket that blew in Georgetown, Bahamas, and I replaced with Permatex. I never replaced the gasket, so we want a new valve cover gasket. The other thing is spares. I want to stock up on spares of things that I now know I need. Stock up on some gaskets. We are going to stock up on fuel lines, which broke recently. We also need to figure out the alternator. The alternator is not putting out any charge. So currently our starter bank is running off of one of our solar charge controllers, which is hooked up to 2 of our solar panels. So a third of our solar is just going to the starter bank, which is very wasteful and is diminishing how much we can charge our house battery. So we're probably going to get a new beefy alternator, wire all that in correctly. Our heat exchanger is still having a small coolant leak, but I'm actually happy to say that currently, touch wood, the engine is leaking less than it has ever leaked. God, I hate that I say that because now things are going to go wrong, but there are some good things about the engine. This list is going to make it sound like everything's falling apart, but there's some things that we're figuring out. We need to thoroughly clean out all the bilges. We need to maintenance the outboard engine. We need to tighten up the lifeline netting. The 2 hatches above the master cabin are leaking, and so is the skylight here, so we need to fix some leaky hatches. The nav lights on the front of the boat are not working. I'm assuming that there's just a loose electrical connection because lately, as we hit waves, the lights will come on, and then we'll hit another wave, and the lights will go out for a while. So nav lights is a big one. Windlass. Windlass is high on the list. That's what I'm going to work on tomorrow. I thought that the windlass motor was working, but as we found out today, it's again broken. I was trying to save the money to just rebuild that one, and I am going to pull it apart tomorrow and see if we can save it, but it's probably going to be a brand new windlass motor. I also want to reinforce the deck underneath the windlass, and I'd like to wire the windlass to control feed the chain down. Right now it just brings the chain up, and I actually have to loosen the brake to free spool the chain down, which I think is probably doing damage for the windlass, because when we're in deep water, the chain starts to run, and then I have to close the brake, and it just kind of like jerks the windlass, and that can't be good for it. So it shouldn't be too expensive or difficult to wire it to feed the chain down, and it would just be much easier. I'd like to install a chain counter so that we actually know how much chain we have, or at least just paint the damn chain at lengths so that I can see how much chain is in the water, because I have no idea how much chain we have out ever. I'm just guesstimating it. And finally, I would like to wire a switch in the cockpit so that I can drop the chain from the cockpit while I'm driving, because lately while I've been solo, if I'm bringing up the chain or if I'm dropping the chain, I can't put the boat in forward gear or in reverse gear and drop the chain at the same time. I have to run back and forth, and by the time I like kick the boat into forward if we have wake and then run up as fast as I can, the boat's no longer going forward and there's tension on the chain, so that's not been good for the windlass either. So I'm going to improve the electrical system for the windlass, probably replace the motor, strengthen the deck, all those things. Windlass is a big one. On the bow of the boat, we just recently ripped off one of the fair leads, ripped it right in half, and bent back some of the aluminum rail when we were riding out Hurricane Ernesto on a mooring ball. Apparently I didn't have enough line out, a lot of you guys told me, and the swell was crazy and ripped the fair lead off. So probably need to drill that one out, have a new one manufactured, or redneck rig, something, because what is going on up there is not going to suffice. I need to recalibrate my autopilot. On the trip down here, the autopilot rudder feedback came disconnected, and I just quickly popped it back on, but the autopilot has been acting all kind of crazy the last couple days, so I think I just need to recalibrate that. I need to install a washdown pump. We do not have a way of hosing down the boat. We just have the stern shower, which goes, a couple feet with the hose. I'm going to purchase a washdown pump and install back there by the stern shower with a 50-foot hose or so that I can do a proper washdown of the boat. My girlfriend is a marine detailer. I've been a professional deckhand. We really want to clean the boat, but lately we've been doing it with rain or with buckets of water from the stern shower, which is no fun. So I'm going to try to figure out the timing to where right after I fill the water tanks after maintenancing the water maker, I'm going to need to dump all that water because it's not going to be perfect drinking water the first run. I'm hopefully going to do a full wash down right after that. And I mean like full wash down, like polish all the stainless, rust treatment, salt remover, all those things. And I'll show you guys the products that I use and how I kind of tackle that, because it's honestly something I love. Like I wish that after every passage we could do a full wash down to take care of this boat, take care of the finish, take care of the paint and all the things that we've spent money on, but lately we haven't. The boat's been super salty, which is going to make it, fall apart. So wash down is important. We need to service the life raft. The life raft came with the boat and has stayed in the compartment that it came in, and I know nothing about it. I don't know, honestly, if it would work if I were to launch it. So I would like to have it inspected, potentially get a new one. I don't know. We have some long passages ahead of us, and I would like to have the confidence to know that if I need, God forbid, to use my life raft, it's going to work. I would really like to install cameras inside the boat, especially because I'm going to be leaving the boat for a few months this fall. I would like to have some wireless cameras where I can monitor things from away. I would also like to install some sort of system, I'm sure this exists, a remote anchor alarm. So I have the anchor alarm on my phone when I'm on the boat, uses GPS, so that if we start dragging while I'm sleeping on the boat, it'll wake me up. But I don't have anything for if I'm ashore. So if I go ashore and I'm 10 minutes away at the grocery store and the boat starts dragging, how do I know? And that makes me really nervous every time I leave the boat. I have anxiety, so I'd like to have a remote anchor alarm, figure out some way to make that happen. A couple of the speakers are not working, sound system, like the wiring has come undone, or one of the speakers is 30 years old and is broken, and that's a small one, $100 job to just fix the speakers. It's very low on the list. That's it. That's what I have written down. There's a lot of stuff that's not on that list. There's a lot of cosmetic projects and small things that are not on that list because the list is already so long. And I'm sure that things will break as we are tackling that one. So we certainly have our work cut out for us. And I just wanted to run you guys through the list so that we understand where we stand and we all understand the goal. So over the next couple months, we're going to be sitting right here in Grenada, right next to that Budget Marine, right next to Spice Island Marine, here with other YouTubers and cruiser friends and a support network. And we're going to tackle these projects, hopefully going to be mostly daily on the videos, and every day or two I'm hoping to cross something off of this list or a couple things off the list so that we can all track the progress together, get the boat into a really good shape so that at the start of the year I'm feeling confident for the Central America season. There's going to be a little bit less of the travel, lifestyle, waterfalls, Indian River type stuff for a while, but I will say that this big epic to-do list will be softened by the fact that I have a lot of great friends coming in, old friends, new friends, Patreon friends, and we should have some fun times when they all come in to kind of like balance it out with all the work that we have to do. So tomorrow I start with windlass, and then the next things on the list are toilets and water maker, washdown pump, full washdown, aft cabin. Yeah, that's this first week or two. I love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow to start the epic to-do list. Say a prayer for me.
Here comes that Sunday vibe again.
Our folks should have seen it coming. It was only just a matter of time. I'm plenty old enough.
Excuse me.
It's happened here before.